What's up, guys? I know it's been a long time, but welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing my new Shadowscale build. I couldn't think of a better name, so that's what we're rolling with. This is an Argonian melee stealth build that uses very little magic. I don't even think I use the muffle spell. Alright, so let's kind of drop into the backstory. Grew up in Blackmarsh. He learned of the Shadowscales and kind of set them as an idol, and that was something he really wanted to be, but with the Shadowscales being a thing of the past, he couldn't. So he grew up committing all kinds of crimes, murder, thievery, drunken brawls. He was just a thug. He just living life in the fast lane. As he got older, he wanted to find the remainders of the Dark Brotherhood, and he tracked them down to Skyrim, and that's where he headed. He ended up being captured by the Imperials, and that brings us to where we are now. On this playthrough, I kind of did things very simple. With all of my builds, I always start by knocking out that main quest first. You know, the whole world-ending thing kind of gets in the way of any other plans you originally had. I would then just absolutely crank out the Dark Brotherhood quest line. I mean, I wouldn't say I cranked it out, but you know, take your time, enjoy. That is the bread and butter of this playthrough, is that Dark Brotherhood quest line, and that's where you get the Blade of Woe. And then I did the Thieves Guild, because you know it's another stealth-based quest line, and I'm gonna be honest, I did it as the worst thief possible. I just killed everybody I could. I lost a lot of money from killing people. And I played through the Dawn Guard, and I had a lot of debate on whether or not I would do the Dawn Guard as the vampires or the Dawn Guard. I felt playing as a Dawn Guard was too good, but the vampires, you know, it's not a vampire playthrough, so I basically weighted out as like number of high value targets. And for me, playing through the Dawn Guard, siding with the Dawn Guard, left more high value targets to be killed along the way, and so that's what I did. I played through them with the Dawn Guard. I then did the Dragonborn quest line. I actually managed to get a sneak attack critical on Mirak right off rip, and the game didn't like that. It kind of glitched out the playthrough because I brought him down to 0 health right off rip. Ended up having to quick loading a different save because it just fucked the game. It was bad. The game did not like it. And then after that, I kind of I'll do the occasional Dark Brotherhood Radiant for some extra cash. I'll do some of the jobs with the Dark Brotherhood, or even just pick a high value person I know isn't essential and just absolutely tear them up. So for the skills, obviously put almost everything into sneak. That 30x dagger critical is lethal, and I really helped that after I did the Thieves Guild. I was high enough level to get the. No, it wasn't even that. It was the Dark Brotherhood. Tail end of Dark Brotherhood, I was able to get Marion's dagger, and that thing, as a thief, rips. Just because even if the critical doesn't get them, sometimes that little insta-kill chance will wipe them out for you. And then I spec'd in the light armor, just to get all those awesome perks that come with it, and just to make this a little less spongy of a build. Between a smithed up Blade of Woe and a smithed up Marion's dagger, I mean, it is a very capable standard fighter. The Blade of Woe absorbing health for you really helps, and then Marion's dagger just occasionally just instantly dropping whatever you're fighting is kind of nice. And then I spec'd into the one-handed tree just to help with the warrior tasking and stuff, and just for those chances where, you know, stealth has failed or isn't an option. The two miners I spec'd into were smithing and enchanting. Just so I can upgrade my armor and weapons, just to really get them pretty absurd with all those stealth criticals, and then also make it less squishy. And then enchanting to set up the Worn Shrouded armor. If you do the Worn Shrouded armor right, you can actually make it more powerful than the Ancient Shrouded Armor with enchanting, and really spec things in. If you wanted to, you could enchant the Worn Shrouded Gauntlets, not to double backstab damage, but instead just to increase unarmed damage, and you could run this build unarmed if you wanted to. This is a build where I didn't really take this character into retirement. I didn't feel like that fit everything. Like just to play through the character. So I didn't retire this character, although I did give them the home, and because we're now on that 10-year anniversary edition, I got Shadowfoot Sanctum, and that's where I set up my character to live. But realistically, you could do wherever you wanted. I just feel like that one fit the vibe of the character the best. You know, it's all dark and dungy and all dank in there and stuff, and I figured a lizard would like that. But going into stuff like the general playstyle, it's a stealth melee build. It's all about just getting as close to behind your target as you can without getting noticed and just backstabbing the shit out of them. With that 30x bonus, almost everything goes down in one shot if you can get behind it. I think there have only been a couple of creatures that I haven't just instantly dropped. Early game playing this style is pretty difficult until you get your sneak up. So I would grind, sneak out, pay for some training if you want to, which isn't something I normally do, but you need to get your sneak and be able to be unnoticed as soon as possible. The early game in this is just such a grind, and you're playing as more of a warrior who sneaks into the situation, and then as a warrior then you're doing anything else. But otherwise, yeah, I found that if you play and you collect valuables with this playstyle instead of selling them all for gold, it really kind of adds to it. You know, it's just having the chest full of gems and Horker Tusk and your Mammoth Tusk and stuff can be really fun. And yeah, that's really all I have for this build. I mean, you can see there are a couple situations where you do have to use a bow, and I'm using an ebony bow and Daedric arrows just because I feel like those looked the best. But you know, you do the Thieves Guild quest line, so you could use the Nightingale bow if you really wanted to, and honestly that would be effective. This is, you know, something I do have to mention because I forget, because this is a build where it doesn't matter. This is not a magic adverse build, so if there is magic you want to use, you could absolutely spec into it, and you could honestly probably trade enchanting for any of the magical skill lines, most likely alteration. But it also means, you know, if you're not magic adverse, you can do potions and alchemy and stuff and feel better about it, unlike my William Wallace build, which was adverse to, you know, using magic of any kind. But yeah, it's kind of coming down to the end of things. I kind of set this up and figured I'd ramble on a little bit more, but it turns out I don't have really that much else to say. So thank you for watching, thank you for giving me the time of day, and I'm going to be trying to update this more often as I find more free time. So thank you, hit that subscribe button and hang around for the next one.